A quick note about drinking water: alkaline versus not, and water from plastic versus water contained in a glass bottle. So let's first start with the alkaline piece. As people are becoming more health conscious and learning of trying to make our internal environments more alkaline, which you can mostly achieve through green vegetables, fruits that are not as acidic. Fruits in general are high in acidity, but there are some that are not. You can learn more if you schedule an appointment. www.wholewellnessway.org on the contact page. I won't get into all of that right now. But also, so basically just avoiding inflammatory foods like a bunch of dairy, sugar, things of that nature. That'll be a whole nother post. We'll talk about that. I can talk about that in another video later on. And so that's the alkaline piece. But when we're talking about plastic versus water from a glass, plastic within itself can be acidic, especially when the plastic gets too hot. So that's why it's always recommended that water is not left in your car for any period of time, especially when it's really hot weather, because that plastic gets hot and it gives off toxins which create acidity in your drinking water, and toxic exposure. And so that's not helpful, and so that it's recommended that you don't do that. But also the piece that I don't think a lot of people consider is that what happens with our water when it's packaged in plastic before it gets to us on the shelves where we purchase it from the shelves. So you have in the manufacturing companies, the warehouses that do the water prep and keep the water until it's shipped out. And then how long it sits in those places. Are these warehouses temperature controlled? And then the vehicles that transport them, are they temperature controlled to make sure that that plastic does not overheat? And so we don't know what that process is. I'm sure there's some research that can be done out there, and from what I have learned and what I've been exposed to, and the knowledge of how that whole process occurs with bottled water, manufacturing bottled water. In most cases, those plastic water bottles are not temperature controlled. And so before it even gets to us, it has started a process of acidity. And then you really don't know the quality of water for most of these water brands, where it even comes from, if it's really distilled, if it's really spring water, is it recycled water? You just really don't know, especially here in the United States. There's a lot of shady things that's happening with our food. And so we want to avoid drinking water from plastic. That is my personal recommendation. If you can at all possible, get a bottled glass. They sell them on most online shopping stores. And you can even buy, in most cases, you can buy spring water from the grocery store. And again, that's probably a whole nother extended conversation about what is the quality of that water. Is it truly spring versus not? And so essentially, you want to stop wasting your money on purchasing alkaline water because it's way too expensive. And more cases than not, it is truly not alkaline by the time it gets to you, by the time you purchase it and drink that water. And if you want to test to be sure, you can purchase pH sticks and do a pH test. And that will help you to determine how alkaline that water truly is. If it's a pH of 7 and above, then it's truly alkaline. If it's below that number, then you're drinking acidic water. So stop wasting your money